Hello everybody, today I'm going to be teaching you how to do beginner F2l. F2l is the second step in the CFOB method after cross, and if you haven't learned how to do cross, then go watch my other tutorial and let's get into this video. So F2l is when you do these two layers. That's why it's called F2l, which stands for first and second layer. And so this would be the second layer and this is the first layer. And so this skips the step in the beginner's method where you make a white face and then the second layer. So in F2l you can just make the entire thing. During F2l you always want to keep the corner that you're doing the pair with in its slot. So then if I was trying to pair these two up and then I did it from here, this would be disrupted and that would take it out, and then I'd have to reinsert it and then reinsert this one. So then I would have to do even more moves, and that wouldn't be very good. And when you're doing it, you always need them in the top layer. So if this piece was like this, I would have to take it out and then pair it up. The first algorithm that you need to know is really simple. It's just U, R, U prime, R prime. This next one is the same thing, but the opposite. So you go U prime, L prime, U, L. These next two are also simple. It's just R, U, R prime. And then L prime, U, L. This one is called sledgehammer, where you do R prime, F, R, F prime. Sledgehammer with your left is L, F prime, L prime, F. These next two aren't really necessary for beginner F2l, but you should know them. It's F, R prime, F prime, R. With your left hand, it's F prime, L, F, L prime. So the first case is when you finish the cross and then you have this. And so this is just the first algorithm. So it's just U, R, U prime, R. There's not really many other ways to do it. You can also do it with the sledgehammer. And if you had it from this side, you would do the sledgehammer where you have it on top and it's going towards anyway. So it would go like L or F prime, L, F, and then L prime. This case is the one that we just did, except now it's going into the left slot. And so for this, since it's blue-orange, it needs to be in blue-orange. So you can just do L prime, U, L. And you can do this from this side with the sledgehammer with your left, which is L, F prime, L prime, F. You can also do this from this side if it's like this, which would be F, R prime, F prime, R. This next case is where we have them matching on top and then this piece facing towards you. And so when doing this, all you need to do is hide this corner, which means move this slot so then it's open, and then move this piece to the back since it's blue-orange, and then that pairs them up, and then you can just insert it however. This next case is the same thing, but it's one move farther. So for this one, you would do it the same thing and then just do U2 and then insert it. This is the same case where it's on the left this time, so now it's facing you from here. So if you're holding it here, you want to rotate so then it's like this, and then you can hide it in the back and then do a U2 and then insert. Same thing, except it's one move closer, so you can just hide it in the back and then do the same thing and insert. So on top, if they're opposite and this white piece faces to your right, then you can just do this algorithm, R, U, R prime. Now they're like this, where if I have it like this, it's now on this side, and now it's facing towards that side, so I rotate, so now it's facing me. Then I hide the corner in the back, I move the top layer so they're paired, and then I can insert. You can do it, you can insert like that, because I was facing here, so I can just do an F, U, F prime, but normally, since it's beginner, F2l, you would hold it right here, you would rotate, hold it, and then insert. So this is the opposite, where these are, these are opposite, but now it's facing towards your left, so you hold it from this side, and then you can just do L prime, U, L. This next case is the same, where they're different. On the top, they're opposite, where this is orange, so if it was orange on top, these would pair, but since they're not pairing, I have to hide the corner, which means you hide it like this, or I can hide it back here. However, it depends on how you're holding it. I would recommend just holding it here, because you want to keep this slot open. And so you hold it from here, it's facing you, you hide it in the back, then you do U move, so now they're paired, and then you can just insert. So now I have the corner right here, but now it's facing up. And so since this piece is like this, you want to move it so that it's on top of its center, like this. And so now this piece is in the back, but that's okay, because that's how it's supposed to be. And so you need to look at the top color right here. And so since this is orange and this is orange, you move it away from orange, and then you move it over, and then you can insert. So now I have it where it's orange on its center, and so this is green. So green's here and blue's here, and so if I'm holding it so I will have this slot open, I can do an R move, a U, and then R prime, and so then I can just insert. This is the same case, but the corner is farther now. So then I can just do the same thing from either side, because this slot's always being broken up. So I can just do U2 now and insert. Same thing, now it's on the left side where it's green and orange on top, so I can move it away from orange, U2, and insert. If you get a case similar to this where they're right next to each other, you need to split them. However, it doesn't matter how you split them. And then also, if it's in the bottom layer, or it's in its slot, but it's like this and you can't pair them up from here, you need to take it out, and then you need to solve it. This case is where it pairs up inside of the slot, and so for this you can just take it out with R, U, U prime, it's U prime, R prime, and then just insert. Same thing, as long as it's always the same thing as long as you're doing it here. And then you can just insert it however, with sledgehammer, however. When doing F2l, you will sometimes see things that I didn't teach, where it's like this. When I was learning F2l, I just randomly saw this, where if I did a bunch of left sexy moves, then it would turn it into a solved pair, and then I can insert it. The same thing with this case. When I would do this, I would see that I can like do this, and then that would pair them up. And so when doing F2l, you always need to look for all kinds of different things that could pair them up, and you need to just experiment with all of the different solutions. You don't always need to do the exact same thing for something. It depends on the situation, and you always need to see how it can be paired. So I'm going to do an example from cross and F2l. So right here I see green, blue, and orange corners. Red's already solved, so I can just do a U prime and then insert green by doing that. And then I saw if I rotate, I can do a U, U2, and then do F2, and then that pairs this up. And so now it's like that. And so then I look and I see this pair already solved. And so I can just do an L, but then I see that this is also paired. And so you always need to look for all of the other pairs, and that's known as look ahead. And so since I did an F move, this pairs these up, and so then I can do a U prime and then finish it off, and that solves these two pairs. And so now I did these two pairs, and since I did, this is something you don't really want to do, is where you finish you finish two slots that are next to each other, but you have them as your front slots. Usually you want to finish those in the back. So now I see that this pair is already solved, so I can just take it out and insert it with like that. And so now it's like this pair is like this. And so since it's red on top, I need to move it to blue, and then I can just do an L prime and a U and insert. Here's another example, but just F2l, and so I'm right here and I see this pair and right here, but if I do this, it's unpaired, so I can move it and do a sexy move and then pair them up like this, rotate and insert, and now I see these two, and then I can just pair them up and then insert them into the back like this. Or you can do, this is something that in beginner F2l that you don't really need to learn because you would normally just rotate, but it is something good to know. You can do R prime, U prime, R, and then that inserts it. And so now I have this case, and so this can be done multiple ways. I can do it like this, and then I have this, and then that's how I would probably do it if I knew beginner F2l, and then I would just pair them up, rotate, insert. And so now I have this case, so I can just take this out, but not like that. I would have to do U2, because if I did it like that, this edge wouldn't end up in its slot. So then I can just do that, and then I can do U2 and insert it. One thing that you should learn for F2l is that you should look for the triangle cases before you insert it. And so since it looks like this, I can just do a sledgehammer, and that makes the cross, which means it's an easier OLL, which means orientation of the last layer, or orientation of the last layer, and I will be doing a video on that, OLL. And so it just makes it easier for you and faster for you to do OLL. So always make sure to look for these, and if it's like this, if it looks similar to this where it's like that, and then this pair is right here, and then it's like this, and you can just insert. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. Comment if you have any ideas on what other things I should teach, because I've been learning other types of solving, and I've learned advanced F2l if you want a video on that. And please share with if people who you think will want to learn CFOP. And if you haven't learned the beginner's method, go watch my other video. I have a video on it. And thanks for watching.